believe it helps. A quick demonstration, and of course, next steps and question and answers. So just some housekeeping things. You have a question section or question and answer section on your GoToMeeting window, and you can use that anytime to answer questions, ask questions, and I'll answer them as they come along or towards the end as we'll spare some time on that. So, who are we? Of course, Javelin Technologies. We are across Canada, more than 6 locations, more than 85 people. What that means to you really is we have support across the country for all your SOLIDWORKS and SOLIDWORKS related products. We, of course, do much more than SOLIDWORKS, and we, if you want a solution for any stage of your design, we can talk about that and help you. Essentially, the core idea that we work with, or the core principle that we work with, is that we understand that you have people that we need training, need help, make sure that their ideas and concepts are developed and retained, and we help with that using assessments and other training methods. Of course, that relates directly to technology and design and development, of course, and we provide you the technology like SOLIDWORKS, SOLIDWORKS Electrical, and all the related products that we can talk about from a technology standpoint. And we get into process as well, help you manage your documentation, manage how the ECOs are generated, or how you're managing your technology nonetheless. And all of it, of course, culminates into manufacturing, and we understand that's where you make the money. That's where that's what pays our salaries essentially. So how do you launch a product, ramp up products, help with production? How can we streamline that using the people, technology, and process? And that's where we excel, of course, being your partner in success. So essentially, today we are talking about SOLIDWORKS Electrical and automation, of course. And this is a general consensus that we get from our customers. We even had a presentation yesterday by one of our customers called ProVantage Automation. And these are the things that we got from those meetings and other meetings, of course, is what are the areas that we need to, customers looking to automate and see the best return on. It is, of course, automating the most error-prone tasks first. That is like the top criteria usually for automation. What can that include? Things like wire numbering, device tagging, maintaining cross-references, and so on and so forth. And of course, that's like the beginning and the middle of your project. But towards the end, of course, there is more in creating bill of materials, manually creating them is error-prone, maintaining wire lists, cable lists, or any other report that you need for your production or your customers need if you're just doing design for them. Includes terminal lists and so on and so forth. The second important thing, and this is kind of a surprise that it came up as second, I would expect this to be third and fourth, but is to automate, on a higher level, like on a project level and an overall design perspective. When we dug deeper, what that means is efficiently using, your standards, not updating title blocks, having templated projects so you can start different lines of products or different projects for different customers more efficiently and getting, hitting the ground running essentially. And the second point that came out was to combine 2D and 3D. A lot of customers are doing it, some are not. Depends on your application, of course. But 2D and 3D to include and enhance your form, fit, and function, be it just a panel design or if you're doing more with 2D and 3D. And we'll take a look at that a little bit ahead in this conversation today. And the other one that came up, and this was, again, really accurate, I would say, is effectively using your intellectual property. What that means would be creating your designs, saving your designs, using macros or any other way of reusing your design so you don't have to depend on reinventing the wheel by every designer. So if one of your team members designed something and they've done the work, why not save it and reuse it across everybody, across all projects? Essentially creating and using macros to make more of a plug-and-play design. So it doesn't have to be an entire project. So small pieces of the design would be great to save as well. So if you have your I/O for a certain control scheme figured out, let's save that. Let's use that. If you have power distribution figured out, let's use that. And that, of course, is another area that people are trying to automate and improve. And the other one, of course, and this is kind of, everyone understands this, of course, is bulk data, bulk design, review of the design, all done with automating it would be the most interesting for a lot of people as well, is automating PLCs. If you are using 50 PLCs, you have to go and design each one or draw out each one, which is not cost effective or time for that matter. Managing your macros and helping IOs with that. Checking your design. A lot of people spend a lot of time today, if you're not using an intelligent design system, on design checks to make sure that you haven't made mistakes, be it wire numbering or bill of materials or device tags or references or any of the above. You would be spending a lot of time doing the designs, and this effectively starts your design rule check scenario where you're trying to check everything in more of a bulk fashion so someone can tell you what's wrong rather than having to go through each page and each line to figure out what's wrong. As a quick note, I am getting a few questions. So someone did raise their hand, so feel free to type out a question if need be on the right-hand side. But let's start with a question on to you guys. It's a quick poll. What do you guys use? It will give me a better idea of what we're talking about today, and also give us an understanding of what people are doing today. So a lot of AutoCAD users, a couple of guys doing hand drawings, and of course. I'll leave it open for 10 more seconds. We have about roughly half the people answering that, and the rest, not so much. Okay. Thank you for whoever responded and whoever's not. There's a couple of more poll questions, so you can participate. Trying to keep this a little more interactive as we go along. So more than 75% people are using either AutoCAD, DraftSight, or Visio. So that really plays into what we're talking about today. Is how do we do that? How do we, how much time do you really save? Now, I will take a look at this, but this is what the consensus was or is between different research, our customers, other AutoCAD users looking at the software, so on and so forth. Customers find that if and when they start doing macros and management of those designs, they save about 90% of the time as compared to saving your design somewhere in a folder and trying to find it, not remembering which project that design was part of. When you're doing PLCs automatically, that's about 60% right there that people save because they don't have to draw it out every time. Terminal strips or other things, drawing that out, and so on and so forth. So change management, reporting and documentation. So essentially, overall, when you move from not having an automated system, doing it by hand or in AutoCAD or Visio or DraftSight, you are about 40 to 60% less efficient, and going to an automated system gets you that efficiency gain of 40 to 60%. It could be more depending on how you're doing it, doing things today, and how much of this is work and automation that you can do. So quickly, let's take a look at the software itself, and we'll see how what we're talking about today. So quickly speaking about that, so there's a project manager. I was talking about templates. So essentially, if I wanted to ever start a new project, and I do a lot of demonstrations for customers like this, or something like what we're doing today, like webinar, and I end up creating a lot of projects. So I have it set up so that today I'm using the machine design demo template. But if I was doing a vehicle or you know, a different harness or a mil-spec design, you know, hands-on test drives, different projects that I use are all set up so I don't have to go and start from scratch every time. And when I start the project, essentially what I get is this right here. So my project starts with, you know, a couple of pages of line drawings, you know, some pictures that I have, and you know, line drawings like this. It'll start with some reference documentation that I have saved, some enclosure designs if I have some enclosure, something that I've already done a little bit, and then I can build on the project. Now, it doesn't have to be so fleshed out for you guys. It could just be as simple as saying, hey, I need 4 pages of power distribution and 15 pages of PLCs, and I know that's going to be there. My title block needs to be filled out. My numbering needs to be done. You can automate all that right off the bat. Let's take a look at, you know, some of the other things. I spoke about terminals, and they're pretty interesting devices as such. Very simple to use, and of course, but there's so many of them, it gets difficult to manage. So automating that is, you know, a simple time-saving thing. You can add multiple terminals here, and I'm going to add a few here on that terminal strip, and it's of course going to automatically number that for me. And some of you guys must have already seen this, of course, is the terminal manager. I really love using this, of course. It lays out your entire terminal. I can assign parts to it if I need to. So let's select that one from Wego, and let's change this up. So what we're doing right now is searching through the library. Now, I haven't spoken about the library too much, but essentially, if I'm able to search and find these things very easily, that leaves me with a lot of time, a lot of things that are not automated today become more of a probability, because I'm not spending time looking at the same parts or library items again and again, or making them. Here I've assigned a cable to it, and I'm doing that pretty quickly just to show you guys what this builds as we go along. As I'm doing this, this is updated, of course. I've assigned parts and cable in my terminal manager, and what that does is it adds the information here as well. Now, I have a drawing of the terminal already. You'll see that I haven't added a cable or any connection to that before, so I only have till W9 and M4. Now, if you go back to this, that's my you know, M4 is right here, so I only did not have connected the M5 not connected. So let's do something. Let's go and create that for us. So I'm going to say update the terminal strip drawing, and that's going to go and update my terminal strip. And what that means for me is that the M5 is added already. Now the W10 is added, and all the terminals that we just added are updated as well. And this drawing is pretty useful, as in I used to, I would kill for it when I was doing field work and design, because it's so easy to understand. If you're sending people out to do something, or even on the shop floor on how to connect your terminals, this is a great drawing. And it does it automatically, so it's not like you're spending any time doing that. Just setting up your terminals and your connections, and gives you a layout of that. You know, that's terminals, of course. How do you do cross-referencing? You can, the updates are automatic, but if you wanted to do just a simple cross-reference between 2 pages, you would just go and select the line here, select the line there, and get that cross-reference going. So I'm just going to do one here and show you that. And now it is automatically connected to both of them, taking your designs that much forward, that much quicker. I've done some of this. I want to show you something in 3D as well while we're at it. I'm doing my panel design in 3D. Of course, you can do it in 2D as well. So I have, let's see, there's my panel in 2D, and I can kind of go and add things in here as well. So if I want to insert a contactor, you know, I can right-click and do that, and you can see it here. And this is a more traditional way of doing the panel layout, and you can do everything in here. Of course, the more exciting one is in 3D. So I'm going to show you a little bit in 3D. Not much. I want to spend too much time on that, but let's add these terminals that we just added, and you'll see that this gets updated automatically. So the 2D and 3D are connected. So your 17 and 20 that you just added, they're already here. So all I have to do is say insert terminals, go and put that on my rail here, and click OK, and SOLIDWORKS will kind of do that for you, where it's going to go and automatically place the rest of them. It understands that it's going to go from left to right, and it's going to go and do that. Now the automation in here is about, hey, how much wire do I need, how many ducts do I have, that kind of thing, and what's the length of breadth of that. So I can do that pretty quickly. Go to route wires, select the components I want to route, and do a sketch route, and click OK. And it'll go and do that based on each line type and figure out if you need to go this way or that way. While it's doing that, let's go back and take a look at our PLCs. So I want to get through this pretty quickly. Let's go into our PLC Manager. Just like the Terminal Manager, we have a PLC Manager. I have a few PLCs already. Here's one that is there, but and I haven't drawn this yet. So let's add a PLC, maybe an Allen Bradley 1756 series, and I'm just going to select that one there, and that's my PLC. It has no macros associated to it. You can see that this is empty right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the macros and just associate some default macros to this one. So I just right-click and do it. Now I can go and select a specific macro to make sure that what is getting connected to this is a little different. So I can go and save these in my library and use that. So there are different macros here, but you guys can use whatever you need. And I'm going to select these two PLCs. So one I've already selected, the other one we just added, and I'm going to say generate drawings and put that in my schematic folder and click OK. And now what it's going to do is it's going to go and build those PLC drawings for you. It's fairly quick. That probably takes about 30 seconds to make 2 full PLC drawings. And it is going to add 2 different pages and add all the associated macros to it. Now we haven't seen macros, and I'll show you quickly after we see the PLCs on how to design those and how to draw those. So this is what we got out of the PLC drawing, the page 16 and 17, and this is the PLC that I had added before joining, and then this is the one that we added now. So you can see that all the information and everything that's drawn together has been added into this, and it's taking that step forward where it's like, okay, what just happened? You can bulk load the PLCs, manage 20 or 30 PLCs. As long as you set up the macros for it, it'll do the entire thing. If you don't have macros, it'll just place this part of it, and then you can go and do the design. So that still gets you about halfway there pretty quickly. Now I can go and change these components out and stuff like that. So if you're not going to use so many push buttons, you can use a different macro to connect that. Now I've been talking about macros and design reuse for quite a bit. How do you use anything, or how do you make these, is a question that comes up generally. So let's do that. There's an empty field for the macro. So what I'm going to do is select this motor control section and drag and drop that in my macros field. I can put this in a library, whatever library I want, give it a name if I want to do so. Let's say motor control, and click OK. And that's saved. So that macro now can be utilized anywhere in my designs. If I want to drag and drop that in, that's there. So if I wanted another rung of motors, I could just go and drag and drop that and have that intelligently update everything, naming, all that. So fairly quickly you can do these things, and that's where the automation comes in, of course. So a couple of other things that what would you automate other than that is wire numbering and device tagging. Now, things have been happening automatically as we are looking at it. These getting numbered automatically. But if you want to change the numbering pattern or maybe the wire numbering pattern, you could go and control that in one place, and that's a great part. So this is my component tree here. Let's say I wanted a different formula. Let's say I wanted to do it based on row number and page number, row number, and then the device information. So I'm going to do that and then go to my process tab and say, update marks for my devices and the entire project. And it will now go and do that for me, where it is going and updating my marks and like device tags or anything like that. Same thing with wire numbering. If I was to do number new wires, with a click of a button, it'll go and number the wires for me. It's like it's added numbers here, and the same sort of formula can be used in the wire numbering thing as well, where you're going and changing the numbering pattern for your wires. So fairly quick to do that. So coming back to our area where how much time do you save? So we've kind of looked at wire numbers and device tags and PLCs and some of the data reuse. And this is where people see that much time saved. Like it's been, what, 10 minutes or so that we're talking about looking at the software. And very quickly you can see that having an automated system, whatever automated system that you use, I believe SolidWorks Electrical brings a lot to the table. But whatever automation system you're using, it is important to understand that using plain vanilla AutoCAD or Visio, you are spending quite a bit more time on doing things that really shouldn't be needing that much time. No errors in wire numbers, no errors in device tags. Those are days that I would love to get back when I was doing my design. Quick question for you guys. What do you guys see as areas of automation that could save you time? Like I've been talking about what our customers see and what our, what the general feedback is. How about you guys? Are there areas that you see saving time from doing these things? Come on, guys. A few more people there. We are just about 50% again. It's an equal split, as in I see about most people have selected wire numbers and 3D integration as one of the key items, which is great. I would generally see a lot more automated reports. Actually, that's equal, about equal. So few people still haven't done it, but I'm going to close the polls here, just for interest of time. Thank you guys for responding to that. That's great information. It kind of helps us understand if we are going in the right direction. So let's close that poll there and continue on our. So while we were doing all this, of course, we did our wiring inside the panel. Now there is wiring outside the panel as well, or like cabling outside the panel that you can automate, and that really does save quite a bit of time. But look at how it looks great. It gives you the wire lengths and everything based on this wiring, and you can go as far as to go and say, hey, connect my motor. So let's see. I'll jump into our reports, and at the same time I'll show you what cable routing as well. We don't have to be in the software to kind of do that. So let's select the motor, click route cable, and it'll get the information from the 2D side and then go and route it on the 3D side. So you'll see that it is getting the information and it's doing the route as we speak automatically. Now I don't know if there are any guys who are doing mechanical design, but this could take a while if you guys were doing this manually. So if I just select that cable there, it is going through from over there to our cabinet, all the way on the other side, and then going and connecting to our terminals that we just added. So that much automation that quickly is just amazing. That's what we hear all the time. And what does that do for you? It produces the reports that you can get all the information from. So for example, we have not done anything to add anything new to the bill of materials, but you will see that the PLC we added from Allen Bradley, that's over here. It's been added. Any enclosure rails, whatever it is that we're doing, the motor M5 is here, so on and so forth. So basically, anything that you add in your schematics, that's already part of your bill of materials. Now you can take this bill of materials or any other report and put that into Excel or text format or an XML format, or you can just generate a drawing for it. And you can do it in multiple ways. I usually like to make a couple of bill of materials, one for purchasing and the other for production. So you can give it to the right people to get the right things so that they can build. So we'll do one bill of materials here, maybe a list of cables as well. And I'll remove the other ones from here and just go and draw that so you can see it on a paper or on a page for that matter. And it did that, list of cables in here. And one thing to point out is that we did route W10 just now, and that's the length. So again, 3D and 2D working together very efficiently, just getting in there and just doing that for you. And let's take a look at where the reports are. So we added some bill of materials in here, Allen Bradley or Schneider, Panduit, whatever you're using. That's listed. All your cables are listed. And if you had lengths, if it was a similar cable, everything, you wanted to know the entire length of something, it is segregated here so you can see which cable it is, where it's coming from, where it's going, any descriptions that you've written. For the interest of time, I didn't fill out any descriptions in this project. But it gives you a good idea of how that is. And similarly, you can do design rule checks that can go and check if there are duplicate connection points, or what the duct fill ratio is right now, if origin and destination match up, are there wires that have not been numbered, or are there devices that have no manufacturer part assigned to it, just using symbols, so on and so forth. It gives you a pretty good idea of what and how you can do that. We've seen quite a bit of it, and we'll continue to talk about a little more. I just wanted to go back to my slide here and give you a little bit of food for thought. Other areas of consideration that we got from our customers is areas that need automation, not from a perspective that click a button and it's done, but more like you need structure for that. So 3 things that came up is library management. Think about how much time you spend creating libraries or creating symbols, putting together blocks or anything like that. And would that be helpful if there was a single library? Team management, if you're multiple people working on the same project or in the same company, do you share information? How effectively can you share that? Or work on a single project at the same time? You can do that with SOLIDWORKS, where you can work on the same project, be it 2D, 3D, whatever it is, multiple people can work. And the other thing is product management. How's your mechanical and electrical team working together, if there is a mechanical team? If there are other teams like hydraulic, pneumatic, P&ID, are they connected to the electrical or the schematics or the 3D? Those are the other areas that you can save a lot of time and build that automation. Quick poll for you guys before we just wrap it up and I go for questions. What did you think about the information? Is that something similar to what you guys expected? Was this helpful, or did I just lose you as soon as I said hello? Right? What did you guys think about our quick time today? At least I have one person saying that it was just okay. It didn't resonate with them. We would love to hear, what didn't work for you and understand what other information I could have given you guys or help you guys. I'm glad that a lot of people are saying that it was good or exactly what they wanted to see, so that's great. For anybody who did not get the information or it was not completely as you expected, feel free to put it in the questions area or just email us letting us know how we could have made it better, or how we could make it better in the future and give you the right information even now offline. We are at about 2:30 now, so we'll open it up to questions. But essentially, what we covered today is how to automate your design, how to work with PLCs, and panels, how to work with library and library management, and how to automate reports, and how we can take a look at that. And these are the areas that we add a lot of value to. These are the areas that we can do, and how to make this solution complete. If you want more information, or want to watch videos or read some white papers, you can head on to our website, of course. And we have a lot of information there. The blog is great. I have blogs there. My team does blogs. SolidWorks has things coming up on YouTube all the time. So do visit our channel, or feel free to drop us a line, and we can help you get the answers that you need. I'll pause my screen here, and I'll still stay on the line if you have any questions. I haven't seen any right now. So if you guys don't have any questions, we are past our time today. So feel free to jump off, and let us know again how we did, or how we can help you more. We'll be running this sort of webinars, every month or so. So we'll let you know, and we'll take your feedback and try to make it better, give you more information or more relevant information as we go along. Again, thank you for joining, guys and gals. Looking forward to talking to you guys. I don't think there are any questions coming up, so I'm going to close the webinar now. Thank you, and have a great day.